Going on, people? We back with another one, man. We back with another one. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, about 34 days away. Hey, but check it out, man. Hey, subscribe to the channel too, man. I'm trying to do a video every day until fight day, man. But check it out. Look, I wanted to do a video because I got a question for the Terrence Crawford fans, man. Because everybody be saying how Terrence Crawford is a better fighter than Errol Spence and he's more skilled and all that. If that's the case, if you believe that that Terrence Crawford is more skilled than Errol Spence, then you have to be somebody that's looking at skills from a defensive perspective. And I say all that to say, when you look on YouTube, majority of everybody on YouTube knows that Errol Spence is a more defensive fighter. He's better defensively than Terrence Crawford. So if Terrence Crawford is so skilled and he's this counter puncher, he's this great counter puncher and all that, how does Errol Spence have better defense than him? Errol Spence spends way more time in the pocket. Errol Spence supposedly is just this come forward fighter that just come forward and throw hella punches. How is he more defensively sound than Terrence Crawford if Terrence Crawford is more skilled than him? I mean, because I heard Antonio Tarver say all Terrence Crawford gonna win the fight because he ain't never seen Errol Spence change his game up or nothing, and you gotta make a motherfucker miss and make a motherfucker pay. And that's what Terrence Crawford do. Well, if Terrence Crawford is so great, based on what the people that think that Terrence Crawford is more skilled than Errol Spence, they have to be thinking of the slipping and countering. Because if you think that Errol Spence is a better fighter than Terrence Crawford, then you understand what Errol Spence is doing in the ring. And if you don't really understand what Errol Spence is doing in the ring, you just see the things that are glaring to the eye that Terrence Crawford is doing, and that's pretty much how he counters and things like that. But if he's so talented, how is the guy that's basic and that's right in front of you got better defense than him? If this dude's supposed to be a counterpuncher, you know what I mean? Most guys that got the skill set that y'all looking at, that Terrence Crawford supposedly have, that's making him this great skilled fighter and all that, all them dudes got great defense. But Terrence Crawford has regular defense. He's an average defensive fighter. But y'all saying that he's more skilled than Errol Spence, but Errol Spence get hit way less than him. So it's just confusing to me, man. Like I said, man, the people that think that Errol Spence is the more skilled fighter, they understand the subtlety, the real subtle movements and the mastery of Errol Spence's style and his fundamentals, and what fundamentals mean to a game like boxing when it's a game of positioning. Your fundamentals are there to make sure that you are not in position to be hit and that you are in position to hit your opponent. You know what I mean? So I'm just confused on how this great counterpuncher and this great skilled fighter and all that has a lower defense than somebody like Errol Spence that's supposedly just this come forward machine that just throw punches and all that. You know, so that pretty much to me shows that you can't see the defense, but it's there. It's there. So if you just take that logic and put it to everything else that Errol Spence is doing in the ring, regardless of if you're seeing it or if it's not, you know, appealing to the eye, you know what I mean? It's not your style of fighting. You can't deny what this man is doing in the ring, because he's doing exactly what you're supposed to do. The game of hit and not be hit. Even though his approach to it is different than Terrence Crawford's, he's doing it at a higher, he's doing it better. He's doing it more efficient. He's hitting you more and he's getting hit less than Terrence Crawford. And that's the name of the game. So I just don't understand how people can say that Terrence Crawford is more skilled and that he's a better fighter, because it's obvious that y'all looking for them things as far as like the hitting and not being hit, the slipping and doing all that, and you know what I mean, doing all that fancy footwork and all that kind of shit. If that's the case, why he haven't mastered that aspect of his game? You know what I mean? Because that's obviously what y'all seeing to believe that he's more skilled. It gotta be. But man, hey, if you agree, I mean, if you think that Terrence Crawford is a better fighter and he's more skilled, man, let me know in the comments, man, because I'm confused. I just don't get it, man. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, how the hell is this dude a better skilled fighter than Errol Spence, but he's not even, and he's supposedly this counterpuncher, you know, and Errol Spence getting hit less, and he's right in front of you more often and at closer range than Terrence Crawford. A lot more in his fights. Like, that's his game. He's trying to get in the inside and work. You know what I mean? Y'all just don't understand the pins and the frames that Errol Spence be doing, and the hand manipulations and all that, because it's not eye-catching. But you have to think about what position he putting his opponents in by doing them type of things. He putting you in a position to where you can't hit him, and he can hit you when he want to. That's the whole game of boxing, to put your opponent in a position to where you can get off on them and they can't get off on you. And he's doing that by pinning you and framing you and using his jab to blind you, and it's all kind of things, but it's real subtle. And y'all I mean, I guess y'all just don't like it or what, but this dude is he's more efficient than Terrence Crawford at the game of hitting and not being hit. So I don't understand how Terrence Crawford is the better fighter. But let me know what y'all think, man. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm gone.